Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Tiff Talks, episode 2 to be exact. Sorry for the delay in my episodes. After I posted my first one, I kind of just realized oh shit, there are actually people watching this, and then I got a little bit embarrassed, I can't lie. Yeah, hence the delay in getting another episode out, because I'm like, oh, fuck, do I even have things to talk about? Well, every day I do have things to talk about. But yeah, I've decided this space was meant to be like a space for me to think out loud. So I need to honor that initial intention and not let my own heebie-jeebies get in the way of it. I feel like it's not straight. Are you guys straight? Okay, there we go. Okay, I don't know if you guys are straight or not, but whatever. Anyways, a few things I wanted to talk about today, because there's a lot has happened since we last spoke, which was literally like 3 months ago. Because I think my first episode I filmed in May, and that was when I just got back from the Westpac thing. But since then, a lot has happened. One, we had a little scuffle with B1, learned a lot from that experience. And two, I went to Singapore and Malaysia with Westpac and definitely learned a lot from that as well. So yeah, a lot of things to talk about. I feel like I've done a lot of self-discovery this year, purely because I'm interacting with a lot of different people, which I'm very grateful for, and was one of my goals this year as well. And I'm also just learning a lot about myself and my own morals as a person, my learning my own boundaries. Yeah, anyways, a lot of growth has been happening, I feel. Okay, yeah. What was I going to say? Okay, so I guess the first thing I want to talk about today is posing the question to you guys. Is it that bad to be emotionally driven? I feel one of the things I kind of realized in this past 3 months is I'm very emotionally driven. And surprise, surprise, my friends, I guess. I feel everybody's always telling me that. But I feel I really clocked it myself this year. I mean, in the past 3 months, just how emotionally driven I am. Yeah, I realized I'm a very reactive person, which definitely isn't the best trait to have, and it is something I'm actively trying to work on. But I also kind of just realized if I don't do things out of emotion, then what is even the point of life? As yeah, as nonsense as that sounds. But seriously, if I feel some of my friends are so stoic. And when I go to them for advice, they're bro, why the fuck are you even considering this other option? Obviously there is one correct choice. But for me, most of the time, the correct choice is what my brain is telling me to do. It's the logical side of me. But what I actually want to do is not the correct choice option per se. And I kind of just realized is it that bad to be, and I kind of just question is it really that bad to be emotionally driven? I feel it's not. And I feel honestly it's good to be emotionally driven, because it means that you're super passionate about the things you do. And it means that I'm living my life with not no regrets, but no what ifs, because I kind of realized most of what I when I'm reactive, and when I want to do something in a reactive sense, it's always an action. Do you know what I mean? But then the logical side of me is stop, don't do it. So that's why I feel being emotional, for me at least, is good, because it means that I'm doing more things and trying more things and saying yes to more things. Obviously it's not good to be reactive when you're angry and whatnot, but let's ignore those situations. But yeah, I kind of just realized okay, let me give some more context, right? I started implementing this 24-hour rule thing, where before I make any major decisions, I sit on my decision for 24 hours before I commit to it fully. And I kind of just realized yes, I would make a decision, and it's an emotional one, and it's logically speaking it's not correct, whatever. But then I would sit on it for 24 hours, and then at the end of my 24 hours, even though during that 24 hours I've contemplated so many things, I've thought, but my end result is the same. I'm still doing what I initially set out to do. And instead of me doing it just free-heartedly, it's just I've just thought about it a lot. I don't know if that made any sense, the past 4 minutes that I've been yapping, but that was kind of just something that I've been pondering about. I realized yeah, I feel it's actually not that bad to be emotionally driven or reactive, because yeah, I don't know, I just feel like a lot of the people I hang around are like not that emotionally driven and like pretty like logical and like their thinking and like, but maybe it's also just like when like they're giving me advice, like obviously it's like an outsider, so then like they're not as like emotionally involved. I don't know. Anyways, that was like kind of my first like word vomit, whatever thing. My second like word vomit, whatever like thought that I wanted to talk about today was this concept of like doing things out of obligation slash like shame slash like external factors type of thing versus like doing things that like I actually doing things because like I actually want to do them. Sorry, I was just reading a text before Claudia popped in. Anyways, yeah, I kind of just thought like I realized like a lot of the things I do in life, just like my choices that I make, whatever, it's always because like I feel like I'm obligated to do it, or I feel like, you know, like somebody's like expecting me to do it, or it's like expected of me type of thing. Okay, wait, I need to pause. Claudia's. Okay, we're back. But yeah, I kind of just realized, yeah, I'm not really able to differentiate what I'm doing because I actually want to do it versus what I'm doing just because I feel obliged to do it. And I feel like I've like because I've been so conflicted and like unable to like differentiate between the two, I feel like I've gone to like the extreme where like now I've like started doing things that like I know I 110% should not do, but it's just like just because it makes me happy, I do it. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, that was like another like food for thought moment that I was just like, fuck, like I feel like if I was able to differentiate better, like what what I want to do versus like what I feel like I should do just because like, you know, other, whatever, like external factors, whatever, right? I feel like I wouldn't be like putting myself in like situations where I'm going like a really, really rogue way and like doing things that like, yeah, yeah. I don't know. That was my other little word, like brain dump moment. Let me know what you guys think though. Like, I feel like a lot of people around me like are pretty good at like differentiating like what they want to do. Like, are pretty good differentiating like doing things because they want to do it versus like doing things because they feel obliged to. But genuinely for me, like it's so merged. Like, you ask me like something like, oh Tiff, like why did you do that? I genuinely can't tell you whether it's like I wanted to do it or whether it's like me feeling like I should do it because it's just been so freaking ingrained in me. And I was like having this conversation with Claudia the other day and I literally was like, I don't know if I want to do it or not. Like I truly cannot like comprehend or understand like my own emotions sometimes. And I feel like that's like kind of concerning. So I probably need to work on that. But I don't really know how as of yet because I don't really know how because like if I'm actively thinking about something and I can't even differentiate it, like how the fuck am I meant to be able to learn to differentiate that? You know? Anyways, that was my second little like word dump thingy my bobby situation. Okay, what else did I want to word dump about today? I feel like those are the main things. Today's a pretty short episode, even though like so much time has passed. Yeah, I kind of just realized like, oh, another food for thought moment. I feel like I have this thought like every 3 months. Genuinely, I have this every 3 months, and I never learn from my lesson. I inherently acknowledge and know that I am a very like sharing person. Do you know what I mean? Like I talk a lot, and I feel like people who talk a lot are just like it's a canon event that like I also overshare a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like I talk a lot, I overshare a lot, and sometimes like I share things before they're like fully finalized, but just because like I'm so excited or like I need like somebody else's opinion on it, like I'll say it to them first. But I kind of just realized like that's pretty detrimental to me, and like not in the sense that it's like, oh, like I want to gatekeep this. No, it's more like I feel like whenever I tell people things or like, oh yeah, I don't know, just feel like whenever I tell too many people something, like it always ends up like going to shits or like not going the way it was. And I feel like this is like an evil eye type of thing, you know, like don't like you know. But yeah, that's like kind of something that I've like, once again, it's like that quarter, it's a quarter, this is literally a quarterly realization, and every quarter I like say something stupid and like shit goes to like the freaking bombs, and then I like have this realization again. But I feel like this time like I actually have realized like some things I don't need to share out loud until like I'm secure in the decision myself. Not, and that isn't to say like I'm going to like stop asking for advice. Like no. Like bitch, I'm literally recording a podcast episode right now and like talking, not podcast. I'm literally like talking to myself right now about like all the things in my mind. But yeah, I guess that was like another food for thought. Like just like being more cautious about like what I complain about slash like what I share, because I feel like sometimes like you complain or like you like make up like so many scenarios that like sometimes like the worst case scenario like ends up coming true, where like, you know, this is just like me like believing in like fate and like the universe and like whatnot, so you guys can like call me on my bullshit, whatever. But yeah, anyways, I feel like those are like my main things I kind of want to talk about today. Yeah, one is being emotional really that bad. Two, doing things out of obligation slash like shame, and like what are your guys' thoughts on that. And three, yeah, just like being more cautious about like the things I say out loud, because like, as you know, you literally, when you speak out loud, you're literally manifesting things into the universe. And I feel like sometimes when I speak too much, like I'm manifesting like I'm like unintentionally manifesting bad things into the universe, which is like not good for me at all. But yeah, that's kind of all. Let me think. I think that was it. Some upcoming exciting events. One, I'm going to Vietnam and Indonesia with Westpac. I can say that because like that's confirmed. And I'm really excited about all the learnings I'm going to get. Oh my gosh, wait, that was the other thing I wanted to debrief. My Singapore trip with Westpac. Okay. I think that trip just like solidified once again that I think I really do thrive in around non-commerce people. I just think like, not saying that commerce people are boring, like, you know, not saying that at all. Like, girl, I am a commerce person. Maybe I am boring. I don't know, whatever. Not saying that commerce people are boring, but I just think like, I don't want to. Sometimes like the commerce mindset like just doesn't really align with like what I want. And I feel like on the Westpac trip, like when I'm with like those 34 other fellows, like I genuinely feel, oh, what is this? Mosquito. I genuinely feel so like inspired, so like welcomed, so like not judged, and just like everybody is like very freely sharing their thoughts. They're like very like openly like, oh, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just so different to the commerce environment, and I just love it a lot more, and I feel super refreshed and energized when I'm around people like that compared to when I'm in FBE and I literally want to like just like teleport out of FBE like the second I get a chance to. So yeah, that was kind of like my reflections from Singapore. And also more reflections from Singapore, like more about like the things I learned. I didn't realize like how pragmatic Singapore was as a country, and I can't lie, like I low-key love it. Like, yes, like you trade off like some things, like you trade off like, you know, like some like aspects of like your freedom per se, but I personally feel like it's pretty worth it. Like they're so well planned, and I feel like there's a lot of like social cohesion, and like some of their policies, like I was just thinking like, damn, like you would never be able to implement that in Australia, because like people would just be like, oh, like you're taking away my freedom or something, you know, like, yeah. So it was like honestly pretty interesting to like see like how another country is governed. And I feel like most of the time when I travel, like I'm traveling for fun, right? Like I'm not like learning about like the history, like the politics and like the economic state and like whatever of like the place. But this time, like I found it super interesting to like really learn about like how this country operates. And I feel like now like that has like really inspired me to like whenever I travel to like a new country, like as much as I'm there to like do like all the cultural things and like all the sightseeing, but also like try to understand a bit more about like the politics and like the economic background of the country. But yeah. Oh, Singapore fun fact that I found super cool. This is generally my most favorite fact that I learned. One of their highways turns into like a runway for planes, and then in order for it to turn to a runway for planes, instead of like planting plants into the ground, they plant potted plants. So when they do need to turn it into a runway, like they can just like move the potted plants. And I just found that like such a funny little tidbit. And just like goes to show like how well planned the country is. Anyways, that was like my little sharing thing. I feel like I've emptied my brain with like all like the things I want to talk about. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed and found this entertaining. And I'm definitely speaking a lot faster than my last episode because, as you can tell, my mood is up. last episode I was feeling super duper lost, but now I feel like I have a bit more structure in like what I'm going towards, which is good, and it's giving me a bit more confidence, which is also good. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will see you guys in the next one.